Hi guys, so today we'll be solving this problem called minimum moves to equal array elements. Let's read it. Given an integer array nums of size n, return the minimum number of moves required to make all array elements equal. In one move, you can increment or decrement an element of the array by one. So for example, nums array has been given here. 1, 2, 3 are the elements. Now we need to make it equal, all the elements equal. So what is the minimum number of uh, moves required to make it equal? So for example, here we make 1 to 2, so which is one move, then 3 to 2, which is one move. So there are two moves which are required. Similarly, in 110 to 9, we require, okay, so we are only given to increment or decrement the element by one. So we need to identify that basically one will be increased. For example, if we take 10 as a point of, um, you know, the element which we need to make it to 10, right? So we need, we keep it as a pivot, or maybe you call it as a reference, that 10 will be the reference element where all the elements must be equal to 10. Till that time we need to perform the operations. So 1 would be performed 9 times, then 2 would be performed 8 times, so 9 plus 8, then 9 plus 1, so 9 18. So 18 is the operation which is required if we take 10. Okay. Now let's make it to 2. So 1 plus 1, 2. Okay. So one operation. 10 would be basically a minus 8. So 8 plus 1, 9. Now 9 will also require, uh, okay, so 7 operations. So 7 plus 9, which will give us 16. So 16 therefore is the minimum number of operations which is required to make the elements equal. So how we can do this problem is by taking the sorting the array first and taking the middle element as the element which is the pivot, which we need to identify it as the number where all the elements must be equal. So for example, let me code it and I'll explain. So first we sort the array. Okay. Now by sorting, for example, 110 to 9 will become 1, 2, 9 and 10. Okay. So now what do we do is that we create a variable sum equal to 0. We run a for loop num in nums. Now you also take int n is equal to nums dot size. Now what do we do is that we add all the elements which are nums n by 2 minus nums, okay, minus num. Okay, so what are we doing here is that we are considering the middle element. So for example, here 2 is considered as the element where all the elements must be equal to 2. So all the elements before 1 will be equal to 2, and all the elements after 2 will try to become equal to 2. So all of them will be leveled to 2. So this is the minimum number of operations always required. So that's what we have to do in the first approach, and therefore we return sum here. Let's run the code to see if everything is working fine. 2. Yeah, that is accepted. So there is another approach too, that is subtracting the minimum and the maximum element. So for example, here let me create two variables. Int l is equal to 0, r is equal to n minus 1. So while l is smaller than r, we do l plus plus and r minus minus. Now in sum, what do we do is we do absolute of nums of, okay, we don't need to do absolute because we know that nums of r will always be greater than nums of l. So nums of r minus nums of l. So what we are doing here is that we are subtracting the maximum element from the minimum element. uh, minimum element from the maximum element. So that's what we are doing here. So let's run the code to see if everything is working fine. Yeah, that is accepted. So I hope you guys understood the problem. Do solve it and thank you.